when your kid brings up a situation with the other parent, how do you?
Oh, that they don't feel favorable about, pretty much.
Right.
How do you address that with them? I think that's one of those tougher things that as a parent that it's almost the inevitable a lot of times. And it's such nuance to how you can handle it. Um, I'll give my opinion in a little bit, but I think it'd be great to hear if you know.
A personal experience, pretty much talking to kids are like trying to start over and make them read a book. They're gonna take whatever they want from it and move forward. But sometimes kids like take from me personally. Um, my son actually suffers from a bad breakup, so he took a lot from that breakup and at the age of 3 and brings it back up 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So dramatic experiences like for him was just, oh yeah, man, my mommy fights with daddy all the time, and that was 7 years ago. So,
That's
um,
wild, bro.
so situations like that you can't even explain because he didn't even tell us. He told some random people,
Right.
not even therapists. He went to therapy. So it hurts to know that they know things, and then they're going to process it no matter what we tell them at the end of the day how they want.
Facts.
And sad to say, like, you know, I'm gonna get a little emotional, my bad.
Nah,
That
bro. Do your thing, bro.
sometimes you
Talk it.
can't
Talk your
be
talk.
a good father because the next person, or even a good mother because of the next person just talking bad about you, and that's not how it goes. Because if you pick a side, the kid's gonna pick whoever they want at the end of the day. They're gonna look at you like, "Yep, daddy got the money, mommy got the food," and if that's what they look at you for, it's still good, but everyone always want better. So like single moms are looking for the oh yeah, I'm independent, but you're not independent if you're not with that spouse. You're just not with that person. So you're single, but you're not a single mother.
Man, come on, talk.
Yeah, that's
So
Talk.
facts. That's facts.
Talk.
being raised by a single mother, that's what it was called, but it wasn't. She just was single. And she
Yeah.
had to be a mother. Who else was left if she had me?
Right.
Dad
Right.
wasn't around. So once again, as seeing black men sitting here with me, you kind of push for the next man. You might not be a father, you might be, but you wouldn't want to see him be a father because you wouldn't be sitting next to him if he said he wasn't a father.
Oh,
I wouldn't.
absolutely not.
So
What? Yeah.
once
Absolutely.
again, I don't think that, like I said, to bring it back with the kids, you can be a deadbeat father, but still a father. So single moms gonna be single moms, and deadbeat fathers gonna be deadbeat fathers. But why? Why is it like that?
It's always something different.
Because he a deadbeat because he don't want to deal with you, but he don't want to help with the kids. But are you gonna allow him to be a father? Deadbeat
Right.
is what? What makes him a deadbeat?
Hey man, that one hit home a lot for
That's
me
real.
because my dad was a deadbeat dad, tried and true, straight up and down. He was a deadbeat dad, but there's no. I don't respect the deadbeat dad that's proclaimed by somebody else. Like I got to see that activity from that specific person.
Mm.
Like I don't ever like not to put that on somebody like Quintel's name, but if somebody came to me and said, "Yo, Quintel, this and that," I know what I have personally seen him do as a father that would completely negate somebody being able to talk like that. So I would be able to speak in his defense and say, "No, that's not what it is." But you hit a nail on the head that definitely needs to be addressed. There is a difference between a single mother and a single woman.
Mm.
There's a difference
Yeah.
between a single man and a single father.
Break it down.
A single woman is a woman that is single, that is not in a relationship, that is not attached to a person. I'm not. You in 2022, you can't even say the opposite sex. You just say that's not in a relationship.
With a partner.
That person can be a single person and not be a single parent. You can still have somebody in
Yes,
the
yes,
picture
yes, 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 yes.
that is doing, you know, A to Z as a parent, but you're not with that person.
Mm-hmm.
So that person, no, you can't claim you a single mother or a single father because you have all the help, the support, the time that single parents don't have away from their kids to work on you, or you know, have your mental health days, or just your time away from your kids where you get to be an adult. I personally have that. The person in my situation is opposite of me also has that. That person can't claim to be a single mother. I can't claim to be a single father because we share custody between, the
Right.
both of us of our kids.
Both active parents.
But I think a big thing in our community that needs to be addressed is parental alienation. And that is a
Hmm.
thing that really needs to be researched and talked about because a lot of times we as parents don't understand that we are alienating the other parent
Mm-hmm.
from being a parent. It kind of goes back to what he was saying, where he was saying, okay, the mother is saying X, Y, and Z about the father in front of the kids, or trying to trying to persuade the kids into developing an opinion about their father or their mother or whatever that your situation pertains, and that's not right.
Mm-hmm.
I would never try to convince my kids anything about their mother.
To see them in a negative light. Yeah.
Correct. I let them come to their own conclusions
Right.
when
Right.
it's
Right.
time to come to their own conclusions. In this time, my kids are 5 and 9. All I do is try to make them have the happiest childlike life that they can have. Whether that be playing video games, being on the iPad, YouTube Kids, whatever it is, swimming, basketball. You can throw all that stuff into a hat, but it's my job to put them in a position where they have a great childlike life. My mom, even though the situation was jacked up with my dad growing up, she put me in stuff to make sure that I had a great childlike life. I didn't understand what was happening to me when it was happening. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't understand until I was like 15 and 16 years old
Yeah.
and really could look back and be like, yo, this happened. He told me he was coming to get me and never showed up. Stuff like that. Then I can come to my own opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But my mom, I can give her the biggest shout out in the world. She never ever tried to sway my opinion either way, ever. So I think as parents, just to round it back to the question, I think that's our ultimate job to create the best childlike life for our kids. Like, take them places, let them experience things. If the other parent's not there, oh well. We deal with that as an adult. But don't put adult situations onto our kids because they're not emotionally and psychologically equipped to deal with that. Let them live their childlike life. At the end of the day, they gonna become us one day, and they gonna understand
Oh yeah.
what was going on when they was a kid,
Oh yeah. They gonna
and let
figure
them
it out.
come to their own opinions. And then, like me and Quintel talked about earlier, at that point, then we'll have a candid conversation about what was had.
Mm-hmm.
I can honestly say all the dads I know are very, very, very active dads. I don't know a deadbeat dad.
Mm-hmm.
If I did know one, they're not around me no more. And
Right.
that's how most of my friends operate. We don't allow that kind of activity. Like, that is non negotiable. If you're not around your kids, you can't be around me.
And I think that's one of those standards in general as black men that we have to make sure that we sit and set uh, just across the board, where there is a standard of whether you want to say excellence, a standard of like a baseline of activity when it comes down to being a father, fatherhood, and actually progressing the black community. Because again, those are principles that all of us here stand for sure. And I'm sure Kobe, you stand for as well. But to answer the question, to go back to it, so my answer would be that for me at this age, what I do is that whenever they air a grievance to me, I give, in my kids' eyes, I will always make sure I give the other parent the benefit of the doubt. So I can just be like, maybe it was a hard day in X, Y, and Z, blah 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 blah. But I like I'll intentionally never try to say anything negative because of I can understand like what that inflection might look like and lead to, and who knows how even a child internalizes a negative comment. They can go so many different ways. So
Right.
for me, I try to make sure I avoid that, and I only try and like only say the best benefit of the doubt scenario. Like, okay, mom was upset and she was yelling X, Y, and Z. Hey, maybe she had a really hard day and she was just kind of like not able to process it at the moment, but don't charge that to her. She was just kind of like in a moment. It's okay.
It
Like
happened.
different, like it happens. Small little scenarios like that in which I think for me, I try, and I hope that, and I've had the conversations with his mother in which that's what she says she does. I can only trust and believe that that's what she says she does. But that's one of those early agreements that we tried to have inside our co-parenting scenario, in which we said that we're not going to talk negatively about each other in front of the kids and make those inflections. And that's something that I know on at least on my end and hopefully her end. It seems as though on her end where like we've tried to stay true to that. And for me, I think that I would say that one thing I can say is that in general, the co-parenting situation with my son's mother is positive because of we set early rules and structure and boundaries, and we've tried our best to adhere to those. Johnny.
Can I add something? I'm not a father, so I can't even
But it don't matter.
answer. No, no. I'm learning. I got great examples, so I'm taking notes. I already know what to do. But what I want to say is, man, I love y'all boys, man, and like real talk, man. Seeing y'all boys and just everything, y'all. I'm just meeting you, but you seem like a real dude too. Uh, I'm proud of y'all boys and the next generation of black people. I'm not worried about it all because I see how they being raised, and it give me great confidence in the future of black people too. So
Bro, we
I
appreciate it.
just I'll leave it at that.
Man, we don't do it for the appreciation or the congratulation, bro. It's just at the end of the day, even when I was 17, 18 years old, I said if I ever had a kid, they would never have to wonder where their dad was. And I don't play about it.
Mm-hmm.
You hear a lot of I don't play about my kids, but I really don't play about my kids. But I don't verbalize that. I just show it in actions. Because
I was actually given this question, and it was kind of twofold, and it kind of threw me for a loop, but I also understood it as well. In which they said, "Why don't you post you and your kids more on social media?"
bro, why?
Well, it's a twofold thing because I also seen the other side of it. Because that's naturally how I am. I don't really post a lot in general, and like to me, I'm like it's a thing that I'm always doing, so it's not a thing for me to think of doing. But they were coming from the perspective, and this was like a new father, in the fact of it being motivation and like different little pieces for like them to kind of grab a hold to. And I was like, I get that too, right? Where like the idea of sharing positive black fatherhood in general can be beneficial, especially for the narrative in which black fathers are given. I also just don't do it because of like I don't post a lot, and for me, a lot of times you see people post when they're doing something that's irregular, like
Right.
different. Hey, I put up a post early because I'm at a cabin. That's something different that I'm doing. Me
Right.
being with my son is not different. It's just like the regular thing that I literally do every single day.
Right.
So it's not really a thought. But yeah, I don't know. Y'all thoughts?
There's a fine line between being genuine and doing something for likes. And I think I mean,
That's for sure.
you can probably say the same for me. I don't just every time I have my kids, I just make sure I post something that shows that I have them with me. I don't have to do that because they always with me. Like I don't have anything to prove, and I think a lot of that. Why don't you post or you should post this or you should post that, bro? We put too much weight on that. You know, Hey, could I be a motivating factor for the next father? Yes, I could. But I'm an open book. You can always call me. I ain't never hid my number from nobody. But to think that I'm gonna post every single thing that we do on Instagram or Facebook is just not gonna happen. Because there's plenty of things that my kids do that I keep private. Like for instance, I pay for Google Drive every year. It's $100 a year, or whatever it is,
So you can keep
to
those
have
memories.
like 2 terabytes of data.
Memories.
Bro, I have well over 1,000 to 2,000 pictures of each of my kids' pictures and videos that have never been posted. That's for me. You know what I'm saying? And as a father, I don't feel like that same pressure gets put on mothers. And just like
Ooh,
Gilly said, Gilly had a whole like viral thing going on where he was talking about dads and he don't do X, Y, and Z because that's what he's supposed to do as a dad. And the only reason we expect certain things from dads in particular is because there's a lot of raggedy ass dads out here. Bro, I'm not making up for the raggedy ass dads. I'm straight up. I'm not doing anything for my kids to make up for what my dad didn't do or every other dad that didn't do what they were supposed to do didn't do. I'm doing what I do for my kids, and for me.
you doing it because you solid ass individual.
That's facts.
It ain't got nothing to do
That,
with
bro, that's
like proving
100%
that shit.
it.
And like as a motherfucker that I know you, but yeah, that's
Bro,
facts.
that's it's as simple
That's
as that, bro.
facts. But let's go over here to
Pop your shit, bro.
I was gonna give him a nickname. I was gonna
He
give.
was like,
I mean, I don't know you be cool with this, but I like Jelly Bean.
I don't think
Jelly Bean
I
Brian.
don't think I like that,
bro.
That's a fire nickname.
sweater. That's
I don't know. It might be the motherfucking, it might be the Lobos, but
man. So it's funny that y'all brought that up because I'm the total opposite. It was crazy. I was just looking at my own page just now, and I'm like, I do post my kids. Wave abundance. Like right now, I get a picture, I will post it, and it's not to show anybody that I'm trying to be a good dad. I'm not trying. I am. That's how I carry it, and I'm excited that because one day my kids can look at that stuff like, yeah, I was really sponsored by my dad. Like he was the one that kept pushing me. So even if like this is not like you said the so
there ain't nothing wrong with being proud of your
no,
kids
but
neither.
that's what I'm saying. Like I got beautiful kids, and I'm not scared to show them off. I mean, you still got to look at it in perspective where you showing them off too, and your privacy of your own. So I still got to reconsider some things. Like if my daughter want to do,
Safety.
TikTok dances. She
When it
likes
comes to
doing them.
safety, you gotta worry about that.
It's for me to make sure it doesn't go the wrong way. She doesn't have a TikTok, so I'm her TikTok. And you know what I'm saying? Like I see kids that got their own page, but it's a lot of other stuff that's going on that we don't even see. So me on my page showing them off. That's yeah, correct. So it's not. I don't think it's about being a good father or showing people that, but sometimes in my head it clicks like it's so many deadbeat. So I'm from Baltimore, so it's so many deadbeat fathers in Baltimore. So and every woman from Baltimore will be like, "Oh yeah, you want child support?" I said, "Huh? What is that?" They're like, they get confused when you say, "As a black man, I'm not on child support. I literally hand out money with no questions, because yes, the mom has them more than I do, and it's like, why do I have to be on child support? What's your big thing? Because you see my kids, but I'm not with their mom, but I'm on child support. That I'm not. Why do I have to be on that? Just because every black man is deadbeat or he don't want to help you, so they look at us different. But for me on my Instagram, I look at it as a bigger picture for me. Um, Whether I got my kids or not, I post whatever when it comes to them if they're appropriate. And
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that.
it's not for me at all. Like I've literally seen like people like, oh, yeah, you always post your kids. I'm like, yeah, what's the problem, you know? And it's like, what are you worried about? Like, they're my kids. And I respect y'all because you said you don't post them because you have them a lot. I do both, and it's like, you know, I don't have them now, so it's like, I miss weeks and years. Like I told you, I was in the Navy, and it's like, how do I make up all that time?
That, you make up that time how you see fit.
And
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 see,
and
that's the part where I want a lot of people to understand. You make up that time how you see fit, bro. You don't owe nobody no explanation. You do what you gotta do and you stand on that. And that's it. You know, you know, I was the first person to hold both of my kids when they were born. They were both born by C-section.
Mm.
I was the first one that was afforded the opportunity to hold my kids. And you know, I've worked this job where I was allowed to be there every day. You may not that might not be you.
correct.
So you make up what you feel like you need to make up, but don't make it up because somebody else tells you that's what you need to do. You do what you feel like you need to do. You don't owe nobody no explanation. Even doing what you do is more than what a lot of people do, whether it be men or women. Because it's a lot of women out here that's some shitty ass moms. Just being straight up, we're gonna keep it 1,000. And I just know what I do, what I have to do. If it's a doctor visit, I'm not missing nothing. I'm not, bro. My job, whoever it is, you just gonna have to respect the fact that I'm an active father because I'm gonna be there. My son is sick right now, and he left. He had to get picked up from school early 2 days ago. I was out, bro. I'll see y'all later. It's not. I'm not asking
That
if I
was it,
can leave.
that's what it,
I'm
that's what
telling
it
you,
is too.
I'm out. That's the difference between a lot of people.
No, that's a fact. My only quick little interjection will be a little light note. I feel like we've gotten Kobe comfortable. As he started talking, I started hearing that Baltimore come out. I started hearing the twos.
Oh,
I saw.
Baltimore.
Yeah.
Baltimore.
I started hearing the twos come out.
I ain't even catch that.
Yeah, it was some of those words. I was like, oh, all right.
Hey, we gotta
He in
get.
his bag
Hey,
right now.
we gotta get.
My dog in his bag.
We gotta get bro to say the to be fair shit.
Right. Oh, no, this is a fact. The TV fair show.
The to be
Yeah.
Hey, you better ask bro if he been where the wire was shot.
Right. But in general, our goal is to kind of like have these, and there's a space where I think that it's good that like you're comfortable because of um in this next year, we're kind of touching on a thing that we want to do, in which we want to have like these round tables of fathers, and being able to kind of like express different versions of what Black fatherhood looks like. And it's not a monolith. And again, even what you explained, I think that you gave a valid piece when you like me. Like I probably post the least out of most people. Um, and again, I think Jeff probably posts a little bit more than me, and it sounds like you post more than him. And even in that, it's his own different versions of like nuance that you can sit and talk about. Whereas no one size fits all. And everybody does when you really sit and talk to Black fathers in a human level. You can sit and pick apart like, okay, I understand that. That's valid. Like, shit. Who am I to also tell a guy that's, you know what I mean, active and really cherishes these moments and shit? A 12-year Navy vet that, like, sometimes I'm not always able there, but I'm providing and I'm literally doing a service for the country. I'm being the best version of me as I can.
Facts.
And every single time I see my kids, this is a cherishable moment. And this is a specific space in which shit disposable. It's not shit that I can also say about that. Johnny, you itching.
No, I just want to say thank you for your service, bro. You know, black man out here, it probably ain't easy serving this country, but you know, there's certain freedoms that we have because of people like you going, you know, doing the good work, and we appreciate it. You know, especially black man to black man. You know, I appreciate you doing what you had to do. I had one question though. We were
All right.
talking about, you said something about deadbeats, and I know a lot of black fathers.
Mhm.
I don't know a lot of deadbeats. So, and you said in Baltimore, I don't know, and like I said, I don't know all the fathers in the world, but like I don't see that narrative of black men being like deadbeats. I don't know if it's like maybe it's certain circles of people
Bro, I've been fighting that shit. Like,
that
you
you
know,
see
my
more than
my
others.
mom will probably eventually watch this and she'll understand that me and her have had this fight a couple times. Like, she'll be like, black men this and black men that. And I was like, I don't see it. Where are they?
And I think that
Because
she's speaking specifically to, and I make this point multiple times on the pod. Like, this is like the fathers of yesteryear, in which this was an actual real thing. So I
right,
also can't
right,
discredit that.
right.
And this is where, like, to an extent, I was having a conversation back and forth with Rail, and where I said I understand the start of this strong black woman thing.
Shout out to Rail.
Old head, where you at?
You should be here.
Rail don't travel, but
Non-traveling Rail. Rail, what up, baby?
NT Rail, that's what we call them. But
NT Rare,
NC Rail. Charlotte Rail.
non-commute.
704 Rail. Pine Valley.
but
Hey, hold on, this one gonna piss him off. Android Rail.
Android Rail, where you at,
This
baby?
one gonna
hey,
piss
if you listen, if y'all watched the last episode, y'all seen Rail walk off. My nigga walked off when we started talking about them
gonna be
green
trying to
bubbles.
fight after that one, man.
What's Philip Berry Drumline called? Philip Berry Drumline Rail. Shout out my dog, man. Hidden Valley Rail. That's what I was looking for. I said Pine Valley. Hidden Valley
Put his whole government
Rail.
out there. Like,
Salute,
I don't think he want everybody to know where he lives.
Pine Valley on the south side. Shout out to all the Pine Valley soldiers, man.
I literally forgot
Valley.
where I was
Shout
going
out
at
Pound
with
Valley.
this shit.
That's right, my hood,
Man, south side. Right? Exit 4, Nation 4.
What was that? What was that?
You said you and Rail have a talk about
What was we talking about right before that? And I can kind of pick it up.
something about deadbeat dads.
Or you was talking about
you were saying
how it
about the
came
fathers
about.
of yesteryear and how their words the point where they was,
Yeah, yeah. All right, I got you. I'm there. But no. So I was having a conversation with Rail. We was having a back and forth, and it it got to a space where I was like, explain, like, I understood where like the strong black woman thing came from, because of there is a reality. Like you explained already, how your mother was put in a situation in which she had no choice but to be a strong black woman,
Right.
because of there was an absenteeness of fatherhood, and it kind of like played that in the sense of I can come when I want.
Amongst all the cats in my neighborhood.
And like we,
90%.
and that's what I'm saying. I think that there was a heavy piece where a bunch of people could do that. I'm not, but a bunch of people could say that they could relate to that, because that was rampant inside the black neighborhoods. To an extent, like black fatherlessness was heavy for like one or two generations prior to us.
One thing about moms is she'll in one breath lay it out just like that. Black fathers need to do this, black fathers need to do that. But then she will list out a group of me, my friends, cousins, and people in my family that really do hold shit down, and
Yeah.
she'll turn around and be like, I just really appreciate y'all doing it. And I told her, I said, Mom, I know at least 20. 20 black fathers. Like I can rattle them off right now. 20 black fathers that are in their kids' lives and holding the position down, whether that be still with the mom or not with the mom.
Yeah.
And that's
In my opinion, that don't matter.
Yeah.
For the 20 black fathers that I can name off right now, and I can name them off. The 20 black fathers I can name right now, whether they with the mom or not, they all have a place in their child's lives. They pick kids up from school. They go to seminars. They take care of them. They cook for them. They do everything. So, whereas I may not post and go hard on social media, I do hold black fathers down in that aspect where I'm going to stand on black fathers and let people know we exist. We out here.
hey, but I'm gonna say you said 20 black fathers. That means that's at least 20 black kids that's gonna turn out.
No, that's 20 black kids minimum.
At least I said at
Because
least.
I got cats
Yeah,
that
yeah.
got
That's
2 and 3 kids.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's at least 20 black kids. It might be 40,
Bro, we
but
really talk about 35, 40.
35, 40. But them, that's gonna be black people. That's gonna be solid. They gonna have.
Yo,
We gonna be
listen.
well grounded,
Hey,
and that's our future as black people.
I'm gonna go out there
And
and say shout out to all my brothers, my homies, my line brothers, my friends that are taking care of kids that aren't theirs, kids that are theirs. You know, at the end of the day, if you stepped up to be a stepdad, you are a father to me. If you holding that position down. And you know, it's a couple of y'all out there, bro. I've always saluted y'all, whether it be right now or 5, 10 years ago. I've always sent that salute out because I know a couple young black boys and girls that had a father in their life that was not their biological father, and their job is no different. That mom came as a package, just like me, Quintel, and a couple other cats. We came as a package. We got kids. My kids are very important to me, and my woman fully understands that. And she tapped all the way in. She made lunches. She picked them up from school sometimes. She do all that, and that's special to me.
And I think that there is definitely a special conversation when it comes down to and shit. We asked this. This is a great panel right here, because I think that is the thing that we do all have in common is the fact that we have women that have came inside our lives in which they have accepted what you said, the package that we come with,
Right.
and they've ran with it. They've embraced it. They've been excellent inside that space. And even that in itself, like that's one of those shout out to the black women out here.
Man, facts.
And
The
you know what I mean,
queens.
in which like that's a real altruistic. I think that'd be a word, altruistic thing to do to really be able to like accept the idea that there's a package that comes with it, but I'm here to embrace it.
no, that's facts.
I'm here to embrace it. I ain't got to do this, but hey, I'm here to embrace it.
And they don't hold it over your head.
Right? Nah,
You
and
know,
that's a fact.
yo, I ain't gonna lie. I know some of these joints on social media be skits, but listen, fellas and women, I'm gonna talk to everybody because I don't believe in stuff being specific to one sex. Fellas and women, if you if you have a partner that forces you to choose between your kids and you need to kick that person to the curb. That is not good. That is not natural. That is not good at all. You deserve better than that. You should find you somebody that respects the fact that you are a package deal, whether you're a man or a woman. I know plenty of chicks out here with 2 and 3 kids. And I know plenty of dudes out here that are okay with that. They don't have a desire to have their own kids. And they're okay with loving you and your kids. For somebody to walk into your life and tell you and make you feel like you have to choose them over your kids, you need to kick that person to the curb. I swear to God. That is a non-negotiable for me. And anybody that deal with me knows that I'm gonna come with two attached to me. And I mean, at the end of the day, I respect the fact if that's not your thing, but you gonna respect the fact that that is my thing, and I'm gonna kick you to the curb, and respectfully. You gonna get kicked to the curb. So if you have a family structure that's already there, respect that. Don't ever let nobody come in there and disrespect you and disrespect your kids.
That's
You
a
are a
fact.
package deal.
That's a fact. Shit. I think that's a nice place to put a pin in it.
Newton said we putting a pin in it.
So
Johnny,
Quint said that.
Quinn said
I'll
we putting a
say
pin in it.
I think that's a great spot to leave it at.
all right. So
My
Cole,
camera.
I know that you said that. Hold on. Matter of fact, I actually think before we put a pin in it, we got the tone cam. We got the A
Man,
dot
put
cam.
tone on cam, bro.
Producer
Um,
Cam.
Let's go.
so A
PDC.
dot.
What's happening?
I don't know. I think that we've had a lot of black father talk.
He over there looking official too.
Yeah, he is.
He
And so
over there looking official
so
too.
right. That motherfucker forehead shining.
operating,
Look at
Out
it.
here looking
Got the
Look
crazy.
at it. All right, but no. So what I throw to you is you are a black father.
Yeah, you notice I was being quiet
and
about this situation. So.
and I think that like you have your own perspective and opinions. I'd love to hear some of your feedback. Like just your thoughts on some of the conversation that we're talking about. Where you at?
Okay, I think there's like in my specific situation, I'm trying not to say too much because I actually got some pending things going on that I'm working on between with my baby mother and everything. And I don't want to put
All right,
stuff out
so
there.
I want before you get too deep. So if you just want to comment on what we said.
Oh yeah, that's
I
where I was about to go. That's exactly where I was about to go.
I don't want to get no nigga in any kind of legal.
I was about to go there.
for some shit.
Nah. It ain't no legal trouble. I was about to go there, but at the same time, there is some stuff that within our situation, there's like stuff that needs to be highlighted that is
Gotcha.
like part of the Black fatherhood story. So I'm trying to like put some of it out there.
I just found the title of this episode, "The Black Fatherhood Story." I love this.
Yeah, like, I realize there's some perspectives that's not put out there and everything, especially like when it comes to like deadbeat dads and everything. Like I've had to deal with the feeling of even feeling like that for myself, and I grew up like where my father was kind of in and out of my life. So to be put into a situation where like at a certain point it was very hard for me to see my kids at all, like just because of finances and circumstances with distance and everything, like not having a car, different things, like it's different situations people go through where it's like we don't talk about like how there are men that actually want to be fathers and it's very hard for them to do so, and how some of them just give up. We like it's just like we just chalk it to deadbeat dads and stuff like that. So I think there's like a aspect there that it's like it's a missing piece to the conversation. Like we just leave the trope of deadbeat dads, and it's like even in our generation where we're making a mistake, we don't actually know the reasons why a lot of like the previous generation was missing. Like a lot of us don't understand what happened. Like that split that happened where mothers were being rewarded to get the fathers out of the house. Like you was getting housing to get the fathers out of the house. So we miss those tropes and everything, the different situations that happen. People leaving to not be in fights and everything, and not be in domestic disputes, different situations. It's like we gotta get to a deeper conversation, and we're gonna have to take our feelings off the table in order to do it as a people. And that's kind of where I'm at with it. Like,
Hey, can I tap in on that?
yeah,
I'm gonna take everything he said and I'm gonna just give people advice based off of what he said. So yes, the previous generation, you had a lack of information. You had a lack of just a lot of things that I really can't verbalize right now. But what I can verbalize is what we have in 2022. As men, you have rights, you have information, you have time, you have all of the things that it takes to be a good father. So, what I would tell you, like what my advice would be, as a father talking to other fathers that may be in situations that he spoke about. You got situations where the transportation is messed up. The situation between you and the kid's mom is messed up. Just all like whatever you can put on the table. For one, don't ever put yourself in the position to be a defendant. Be a plaintiff. It's okay. But, I put that responsibility both on you and I put it on you. And I'm gonna tell you what I mean by that. Don't say you want X, Y, and Z with your kids, but then when you get the opportunity, you fumble the ball. Don't do that. If that's what you want and that's what you fighting for, fight for it and live up to it. So, I tell people all the time, don't be a plaintiff, don't be a defendant. Don't wait until somebody strike out against you to defend yourself. Because I don't care what country, what court of law, bro, you guilty until proven innocent. I don't care about the innocent until proven guilty shit. It just don't exist. So you take what you have and you put all that you have into your kids, and then nobody can ever say anything to you. You know, whether that be court, whether that if you can handle it out of court, handle it out of court. Please do that because court is expensive, bro. I'm like 20 grand into what I got going on with my kids.
Man, you ain't gotta tell them people out there.
Man, it's all good. Because it's a fact. You know what I'm saying? It's not. I ain't got a cap about that. I'm like, I can show you the receipts. I'm like 20 grand into fighting for my kids, but I feel like there is not a price that I can pay to ensure that I have what I need and have the rights that I'm owed and that I deserve with my kids. I am not a 80-20 parent, bro. I'm if at the very minimum 50-50. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna fight for that and more. But if you gonna complain about what your baby mama doing and what this and what that, make sure that your shit is on point before you start complaining about what she is or isn't doing. Your complaints about her should be after you've exhausted all other avenues. Because I've been in conversations with dads too, where they be like, well, she ain't let me do this, she ain't let me do that. Bro, I want you to start reading and learn about what you are afforded as a father. What y'all need to understand, if you don't have a custody agreement, you have 50-50 custody. Without a piece of paper, you have 50-50 custody. So stop letting these motherfuckers bully you. There's not a situation where you have been put into a situation where you've been to court and you got a custodial agreement. If you don't have that, then
These
you
are
have
the bars.
50-50 custody. So all of that, you'll see the kids when you see them and I'll do this and I'll do that. Bro, stop allowing that to happen. If you allow that to happen after hearing what I'm telling you right now, is because you are okay with it and you accept it. If you don't accept it and you're not okay with it, then do what you got to do. That's what I would tell you.
And just off of
Talk to
that,
'em.
I'm gonna be real open and honest here. You said the same thing when we had like at Quintel's Memorial birthday, like Memorial Day, Quintel's B-Day. We end up getting into like the same type conversation,
Right.
and you said like the same type deal. And at the same time, I was dealing with a situation. Then it's like I've been dealing with some of the same stuff for years, just like fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting. And it's like I hate my kids even going through that. But it's like when you said that, it was like I really had to go home and sit with that. So I'm like, yeah, any man who's dealing with a situation like, where you do have a situation where it's like you dealing with your baby mama or you got different problems going on, whatever it is, yeah, just keep fighting whatever way that you can. Like that's the main thing. You got to keep fighting and make a presence. And at the end of the day, like it's been said, the kids gonna grow up one day to see the truth. The kids gonna grow up to see one day the truth of what's going on. They're gonna actually know what's going on. One of the
Facts.
things I keep in my head every single day, that's even not seeing my kids the way that I've wanted to. One of the things that I keep in my mind is I'm gonna be a representation for them.
Facts.
Like at the end of the day, if they ever look to see, like they look and find out stuff about their dad from anybody else, they gonna find out he's a man of character. He's a man of good character. He's a man of faith. He's a man that stands on his word. He's a man that stands for something. Like I want to make sure. I think about that all the time. Like what would I want my sons to do? What decision would I want them to make if they was in this situation? So yeah, I definitely say like I know like for some I'm being straight up vulnerable here. I know it get hard sometimes. I know like it can get depressing sometimes. Things can get dark in your head. You can start having all type of thoughts about yourself. I know how it works. Keep your head up. And, hey, you gotta keep fighting. Like you said, it really ain't no pity out here. Ain't no pity out here for us, man. So it's like you gotta do what you gotta do.
Facts.
Point blank.
Nah, this
Play
is
chess, bro. And play chess, bro. Stop going back and forth with these folks, bro. Play
Real
chess.
talk.
Like, always remain 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 steps ahead of where you're trying to be. Because if it's about your kids, then you're gonna always play in that manner. You're not gonna be worrying about all that tick for tack. I'm gonna do this because you doing that, and you gonna do this because I'm doing that, bro. I ain't got time for that, bro. I can be making money, I can be spending time with my kids. I can be doing a whole plethora of other things than worrying about going back and forth with somebody about nothing, bro. I'm not gonna get nothing from that.
So I think like to kind of like put a bow on the conversation, there was an important piece that Tone just said, in which he spoke about the conversation. Like these aren't like singular conversations that we
Facts.
have, and I think that this is something that it can be reciprocated across every friend group in general. It's like real fathers sitting and having these real vulnerable conversations in which you can sit and take home some things with you
It's
to like
scary.
even build on with yourself and like reflect because of again there is a space where like right here we have four black fathers that's inside different scenarios, but within those we can all see different reflections of ourselves and we can build off of it. And I think that that's really important. I'll say shit, we've kind of themed this one out already. So what I say is that I like to hear this from y'all, black fathers. Give me a proud moment that you've had with your kids.
All right, since I got two kids, I'll give two proud moments. So, um, my son is 5, and he has recently taken a big liking to sports. Like I'll be riding in the car and bro will be on his iPad playing Madden, watching football highlights. Like I don't, he just be locked in like that, and he'll watch like NBA
Love it.
highlights and stuff. He's just like 5 years old. I'm just dumbfounded by it, but. So we had a situation where we ended up in contact with a social worker, and it's one of them things where God don't make no mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
That social worker was put into our lives for a reason. He's a basketball coach, and he ended up putting me in contact with a couple basketball leagues. And I was like, you know what, forget it. Sign my son up since he's shown the interest in sports, and football and soccer were already like done. So we threw him in basketball, and he had his first game last Friday, and my man scored 4 points, which was dope because the funniest part was when they scored as a team, they all of them ran down the court like with their arms out. They was like, oh, and I was like, yo, that's funny. They look like the cats on in soccer when they score a goal. Had the whole team be running like. That's how they ran back down the court to get back on defense, and it was dope.
Yeah.
And then, like for my daughter, man, I get a lot of proud moments from my daughter because she's ultra mature for a 9-year-old, but it's just you her understanding her math. You know, most notably as far as activities, just she's in swimming right now, and she is crushing it in swimming. She went up like 3 levels in 2022 as far as swimming. Just she would be in a class, and it was a couple times she was in a class for like 4 weeks and just blew through it and graduated and went to the next level. And just how smart she is and the young woman that she's growing into, it just makes me really proud. But that's the that's my takeaways as far as like
That's
proud
dope.
fatherhood moments.
Go ahead and take the mic. So my proud moments are actually kind of funny because I got to watch my kids be born, but for some reason every doctor was like, "Hey, go ahead and put the baby out." I was just like, "What?" It's kind of crazy, but I did it, and like it felt good to be right there at that moment. Could miss it. I mean, I could have missed them all, but it's just like that's my like favorite moment. Like the moment I can tell them like, "I touched you first.
It's
I
life.
pretty much made you come out. I
Hmm.
was at the end of the tunnel for you, and I was going to be there for the rest of your life." And that's my moment, like that birth, like that date. Like I have that birthday on my body, not for just the fun of the tattoo or try to remember that birthday. It was that moment. I was there. I was there that
It's
day.
blood. It means something.
So that's my
That's
proud
dope.
moment.
Proud moment I'll give this week where so I have this little thing with my son where I told him if you score over 10 points in a game, I'll give you $1 for every point you score or whatnot. So if you score 9 points, you don't get no money. If you score 11 points, you get $11. That's kind of like concept to it. So this last game, he did what he did. He put up 26 points, I want to say. So I had to cash app him. On the way up here, I had to throw that cash app. He said, "Nah," because there's also a thing where I don't really count as points in the game. Like I just watch and enjoy the game, and you know what I mean. Like if there's little things that I can say that maybe he might hear in the earshot, I'll say something like that. But I don't really count the points per se. So he was like, "Yeah, they said on the announcements I scored 26." But I mean, I was there, so he scored in that realm. I was just hoping it wasn't over 30. Well, I was hoping it was over 30, but I was also hoping it wasn't over 30 because he scored a lot. And so that was a good little moment in which seeing your kid actually achieve some of those things in which they work hard for. He works hard. I'm on him heavy, and seeing him achieve some of those little moments is always really, really, really good.
Did he get some ankles?
Oh no, he caught
Did he?
He caught a Caucasian. He caught
yes.
He hit him with a bent. It was a hezzy. And then he went between behind, and it was like one dribble was a screen right there, hit the shot. It'll be on the gram soon.
He caught some ankles.
It'll be on the gram. It's coming
soon.
And I think using money because we are in a position where we make okay livings to where we can use money to incentivize our kids. I think that's dope. Me and Alex got a post off of social media where we pay Anaya $2 for every 50 pages that she reads in a book.
That's fire.
So
I like that. I like that also.
She just hit page like 119 in the Stuart Little book. So and the funny thing is she usually quit to collect. She hasn't collected her last $2. I gave her the $2 for the first 50 pages. Mm-hmm. And the second 50 when she hit 100, she hasn't collected that $2 yet. My daughter don't play about her money. She gonna come get that $2.
She coming to get the bread.
But she really had a falling out with me about how $2 wasn't enough. And now she don't argue with me. She read them books and get her $2. I'm giving her at least $2 to $4 every week.
Hey, she say
which I can't ask for much more than that. For a fourth grader, she's just getting into like chapter books and stuff like that. She make me pay up. I said, make me pay up. I want to pay up, read the books, and make me pay up.
Yeah, I dig it.
I'm
gonna throw the tone. Tone, what you got for us, bro?
Yeah, shoot. I got twin boys, so I give you two stories. One of them I give from when one of them was younger. My son Isaiah, I remember he was young. I was making beats at the time. This was when I was like Sir Alter Ego and everything, doing the rap thing. But I was making beats for this particular album, and my son was a baby at the time. And like he literally came and helped me. Like he helped me make a beat. That's still one of my favorite things. Like the beat's still online. I still listen to this song all the time. It's one of my favorite stories that I remember about him. So that was like one of the things. On top of that, both of my sons are very smart. So just like current day and everything, both of my sons are very smart, very eclectic, very proper etiquette, gentleman type deal. My son Elijah is into coding, and I just recently, found out more about that. And this is something he just likes doing. Like that was one of the things that was cool to me. Like when I was younger, I used to like doing computers and everything too. And I just think that was cool that he kind of picked that up along the way. Like they've been doing robotics and stuff like that since they were like younger, but like the fact that he's into coding and that's really like his thing. He does that as a hobby. He likes making games and all of that stuff. That's one of the things that makes me very proud.
That's what's up, bro. I like it. Mm-hmm. STEM activities is huge for our kids.
That's what
exactly, especially black boys. I think that's dope.
How old are they?
They're 12, or they're 11 right now. They're going on top. You be rounding it up. Like
I'm like that too. My daughter turned 10 on January 2nd. I already been telling people she's 10.
Exactly. Like in my head, they're 12. I mean, their birthday not even till May. I'm like, I'm pushing it way ahead. But I'm like, they about to be, they coming into 12. I'm excited.
Yeah, that STEM is huge for our kids. Get your kids in STEM activities, bro.
Exactly.
That's facts. I was gonna
Johnny,
say
what you got for us?
my favorite daddy moment was I have been called daddy. That's all I got.
Hey yo, I ain't gonna lie. This man, then he done been around my kids. He been around Anaya since she was what a little over a year old,
In the I remember she ride around in the Cutlass in the baby seat.
bro. A little over. Anaya was a little over a year old when I met
It's
Newton, man.
crazy.
So he been around my kids their entire lives. So
Yeah.
I remember when Ja was born. Like,
you
yeah,
know what I'm
it's
saying?
crazy.
Like
It's
he
crazy
been there.
to see like kids be people, man. It'd be crazy to see the evolution to
See
like
them growing to like real
in their own
little
little people,
humans.
especially QJ. Because I remember like you
Bro.
remember we did the transparent video,
Oh yeah, little baby.
and now he out here catching ankles
Mm-hmm.
on mixtape like that shit.
Mercilessly too.
Yeah, he don't care. He don't care about nobody.
With no
But
remorse.
like just to see, and I got other friends that got kids, and it's just amazing for me to see, my friends' kids grow into their own human beings and their own people, their own personalities, and
Fact.
it just go into the it speaks to the good job you guys have done
Man,
to
appreciate it, bro.
to put good people out there. That's that's what they're gonna be at the end of the day. They're gonna be their own people, and you just want them to be solid individuals.
Facts. That's what we
And
raising.
so to see the essence of that, just see the beginning of it is pretty cool.